of vipers, how will you escape being condemned to hell? For you are like whitewashed tombs, all of you, which outwardly appear beautiful, but within are full of dead people's bones, profaning my Father's house, and all uncleanness. For you also outwardly appear righteous to others, but within, stop making my Father's house a place of business. No! You are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. You build the tombs of the prophets, who could do done to my Father's house. But in your actions, you now reveal that you are sons of those who murdered the prophets.
Brothers, we have a very interesting topic to cover today, and I'm very excited to do it. So, it all started with Tectone. Tectone was responding to the situation where Taku apparently got Grok banned because I apparently trained Grok that Taku was an anti-Semite with one of my thumbnails that I put on X. And one of my audience members asked Grok, was this used in the determination that Taku was an anti-Semite? And it said yes. So, I mean, this is a very, very interesting story. So, Tectone says, first the Jews killed Jesus, now they killed Grok. You know what? Maybe I will keep streaming on Twitch. I get it now. That is hilarious. I love the humor. I love the memes. And I love that Taku is a good sport. He really is a good sport. And I know that on the internet, a lot of people get offended, but so far, all of my good nature rimming and jokes and stuff, he's never DM'd me and be like, guy, you know what? I can't believe you posted that. I'm so deeply offended. And I've posted Taku in like World War II German outfits, you know, to make a point for the video. But yeah, he's a very, very good-natured guy, and I appreciate his sense of humor. But he said, the Romans killed Jesus, Grok killed himself, bro's going down the rabbit hole. So, that led me to make this video. Did the Romans kill Jesus? And the answer is no. Yes and no. Did the Romans carry out the act? Yes. However, it was the Jewish mob that demanded his death. Now, I want to put all that aside for a second and just come right down and tell you the real person that is responsible for Jesus' death is us. If Eve hadn't taken the first bite of the apple and convinced Adam to do it, violating the covenant that they had with God and thinking that they could become gods, if Eve hadn't taken the bite of that first damn apple, we wouldn't be in this position. So the truth is that you could really blame it on women. But in terms of this specific situation, you may have heard the phrase, I wash my hands of you. I wash my hands of this. That comes from the biblical story with Pontius Pilate. So I put the phrase, I wash my hands of this, notably comes from the Pontius Pilate washing his hands of Jesus' death after the Jewish mob demanded his death. But in truth, yeah, like I said, if the woman hadn't ate the damn apple, men wouldn't have fallen and Jesus wouldn't have had to die for her sins. So really, it's women's fault. It's a joke, it's tongue-in-cheek, but no, the whole thing was, you want to say, well, the Romans killed him. No, the Romans didn't kill him. It was the Jewish mob. And here's the thing. Some people take that and they use that in an anti-Semitic way, but the reality is that Jesus had to die for our sins because mankind had fallen. We were forever doomed and cursed, and Jesus came along and he was the ultimate sacrifice. He lived a perfect, sinless life and he died for us. That type of sacrifice allowed us, through him, to be able to reach the Father again and to be able to experience redemption and salvation. And if you want to learn more about that, you can learn about, Jesus' death and his resurrection and what he did in those 3 days. You can learn about the harrowing of hell, which is a phenomenal read. It's one of my favorite parts of that whole, look into what happened, where Jesus went down to hell and the demons were throwing a party like, oh, the Son of God is dead. And Jesus shows up and basically is like, hey guys, I'm here. They're like, what the fuck? Aren't you supposed to be dead? No, Jesus comes in and goes, oh yeah, hey guys, I'm not dead. Oh, and by the way, I'm taking a bunch of people with me. So, allowing anyone who sought redemption through him to be able to be freed from hell, which is just incredible. I mean, the whole story of the demons are throwing a party and you basically show up and you basically crash it. And they're like, what the fuck, man? We're just celebrating he died and then he shows up and then he takes everyone with him and now we're here alone. What the fuck? But yeah, no, that's a very, very fascinating story. But in truth, the Romans are the ones that carried out the act, but it was the mob that demanded his death, and Pontius Pilate allowed it to happen, but he says, I wash my hands of this. Because Pontius Pilate did everything he could to keep Jesus from dying. The Roman Pontius Pilate did everything that he could, including, oh, Jews, by the way, you get get out of jail free card. You get a person to get out of jail free, and we can give it to Jesus. No, we want Barabbas. Oh, okay. I really like if you look at the text of the time and you look at the period, the Jewish mob wanted Jesus dead. It wasn't that the Romans were pushing for this. Yes, they arrested him, but they arrested him. I'm like, we could go through this whole thing and it would probably take an hour. But the reality is that no, the Romans didn't kill Jesus. The Jews killed Jesus because he claimed to be the Son of God and he was speaking blasphemies. And not only did they not like that he was speaking blasphemies like I'm the Son of God, but also he told them, outwardly you appear fine, but inside you have the bones of dead men. That, you talk about sacrifice, but you're penny pinchers. Like the scene where Jesus confronts the Pharisees is so fascinating because he goes, you're bragging about how much you give to people, but you're like nickel and diming. You're going, it's like the Jewish meme. But no, the whole part of this is that Jesus had to die. He had to die for us. So when you say the Jews killed Jesus, that is technically valid. And I know that people who are Jewish like to say that the Romans killed him because, yeah, you don't want to be the group that killed the Son of Man. But what you have to understand is that, yes, the Jews killed Jesus, but it was a necessary death for everyone. For everyone that believes in him, it was necessary. So you shouldn't have hatred in your heart for Jews for killing Jesus. That's crazy. Because all of us are the beneficiary of that sacrifice, and Jesus willingly sacrificed himself on the cross for all of us, and paid a blood debt that we can never, ever repay, and we're not worthy of, but we can try to live to be worthy of that. So, yeah, I know I went in a little more of a serious tone, but, I just think this is a very funny situation, and if I can use this as an opportunity to preach in my heart about Jesus, I'm more than happy to use that. And I know that there are Reddit atheists in my audience, and what you should know is, first of all, being a Reddit atheist, come on, you can do better. I believe in you more than you believe in you if you're like, I'm a Reddit atheist. Come on. Asmongold admitted to that, and I thought that was one of the funniest things I'd ever heard. Like, really, you're going to admit to that? That's like, guys, I'm a proud tier 3 sub of Pokimane, and I goon to her every day. It's like, okay, all right, I didn't need to know that, and it's embarrassing, but you goon over there to yourself in your little goon corner. It's gross. It's fucking disgusting. Like, you really can't do better than Pokimane. Fucking really. So ladies and gentlemen, I like Taku. He's a sweetheart. He's a good guy. He's somebody that very easily could become bitter and resentful and, get offended by these jokes, but he doesn't. And I do appreciate that. And the truth is that I think Nux Taku would be a good friend to have. I do. And I mean that sincerely, because far too often you get online, you get these internet friends who are with you when it's opportunistic, and then they'll stab you in the back. Kind of like Mango and Ludwig. I imagine Mango probably thought he was friends with Ludwig. It's like, we've been friends for a long time. But they weren't friends. At least not from Ludwig's side of things. They weren't friends. Because it took a stranger like Tectone to reach out to actually try to help Mango, whatever his name is, because Ludwig was such a piece of shit. A self-absorbed, self-indulgent, narcissistic, Hassan cocksucking piece of shit. So, I just wanted to make this video to talk about this real quick. Nothing super serious. Send Nux Taku some love. He's been through a lot. I didn't mean to train the AI algorithm to accuse him of being an anti-Semite. I still can't believe that happened. That is hysterical. That is absolutely hysterical. And if you're curious what I'm talking about this, where one of my viewers, Corpus Delecki, asked Grok if the thumbnail helped with their inquiry, and Grok said yes. The thumbnail clarifies Nux Taku's side of ironic humor. Yeah. So basically, the Grok algorithm decided that Nux Taku was the happy merchant anti-Semitic meme. The anti-Semitic meme. Oh, it's too good. I love the story so much. Nux Taku doesn't deserve this though. But it's funny. I'm here for the chaos, Nux. I'm sorry. I'm in love with the chaos. It's so hilarious. It's so the happy merchant meme. Oh, how could you do that to my boy? How could you do that to Nux? The happy merchant meme. Oh, man. Oh. For those who don't know what the happy merchant meme is. They look nothing alike. Oh, I heard somebody say, oh man, this was funny too. I heard somebody say that the skull was his yarmulke. The skull was his yarmulke, and oh man, I just... How the fuck does my avatar look like that happy merchant? I can't. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you supporting the channel. Those of you that have, whether it be through subscribing, whether it be through commenting, engaging in the live streams, I appreciate it all. Thank you to the incredibly generous people that have donated subscriptions on Kick. You're amazing. That kind of generosity is humbling beyond words. Thank you for the support, and I'll see you guys next time.